I just got back from an amazing train journey through 5 countries in Western Europe, mostly focusing on all the incredible Christmas markets and Christmas vibes in those places. During that trip, one of the last spots that we visited was Zurich, Switzerland, and although it wasn't the most Christmassy destination, it's definitely an amazing city to visit. So in this video, I'll guide you through the perfect one-day itinerary in this stunning city, from getting into the city, exploring the highlights, to savoring Swiss delicacies. Let's make sure that your Zurich adventure is unforgettable. Let's start with getting there. Zurich Airport is one of the best connected hubs in Europe, serving flights from around the world. Once you land, reaching the city center is super easy. You have 2 options. Option 1, which is the option I recommend, take the SBB train from Zurich Airport to Zurich Hauptbahnhof, which is the main train station. Trains run every 5 to 10 minutes and the journey is only about 10 minutes long. Tickets cost around 680 CHF, which is roughly 750 USD. Make sure to validate your ticket before boarding if it's not already pre-validated. Your second option is to take the tram. Take tram 10, which takes about 35 minutes but offers a scenic ride into the city. Now let's talk about the best areas to stay in Zurich to help you book your hotel. For charm and convenience, stay in Altstadt, or the Old Town. This historic area is packed with cobblestone streets, boutique shops, and classic Swiss architecture. And of course, this is as central as you can get, so you can easily walk to everything you want to see in Zurich from here, including the main train station. If you prefer a trendy vibe, you can check out Zurich West. This former industrial district has been transformed into a hip neighborhood full of stylish hotels, cafes, and art galleries. This is actually where our Airbnb was, and yes, it was a little far from the Old Town, but it was still walkable and had tons of amazing restaurants and bars. If I were to move to Zurich, this is definitely the area that I would want to live in. But if I was staying just for 1 or 2 nights, I do think the Old Town is a little bit better just because of the location. And lastly, budget travelers might consider Langstrasse or Oerlaken, which is more affordable while still being well connected to the city center. Now let's talk about food, because no trip to Zurich is complete without tasting Swiss specialties. First up is Swiss fondue, of course. While it's more common in the winter, many restaurants do serve it year-round. Melted Swiss cheese with bread, it's a must try, plus tons of other options like smoked meats and chocolates too. It is quite pricey though. I mean, everything in Switzerland is, but especially fondue, so do keep that in mind. Another classic Swiss dish to try is rosti, a crispy golden potato dish. You can enjoy it as a side or on its own. And for something sweet, try Luxembourg-Lee, Zurich's take on macarons from the famous confiserie Sprungli. And don't forget to grab a bar of Swiss chocolate, or even take a trip to the Lindt chocolate factory, which I'll talk more about in a little bit. And just one thing I wanted to add for this section is that Zurich has an incredible international food scene. It was genuinely my favorite food from the whole trip. Living in London, we have not had any good Mexican food or access to any American style Chinese food. And in Zurich, we had amazing tacos and amazing orange chicken. So I was super happy. Now that you're settled, let's dive into your one-day Zurich itinerary. You'll start the day in Old Town, or Altstadt. You'll wander through Niederdorf, a pedestrian-friendly district with charming alleyways, historic buildings, and quaint cafes. Make sure you don't miss the iconic Grossmünster Church. You can also climb its tower for stunning views of the city for 5 CHF, but if you do prefer good views for free, I'll give you another spot in a little bit. Next, head to Bahnhofstrasse, Zurich's luxury shopping street. Even if you're not planning to splurge, the window displays and vibrant atmosphere are worth experiencing. For lunch, enjoy traditional Swiss dishes at Zug Hauskeller, a historic restaurant serving hearty classics, or of course just stroll around the area and find any restaurant that looks good to you depending on what you're in the mood for. Like I mentioned in the section before, everything I ate in Zurich was amazing, so you really can't go wrong. After lunch, dive into Zurich's art and history. Kunsthaus Zurich showcases masterpieces from Swiss and international artists. If you prefer history, you could head to the Swiss National Museum instead, which provides fascinating insights into the country's culture and heritage. After that, you can head to the lake for some fresh air. You can walk along the promenade or take a short boat cruise to soak in the alpine views. Obviously, this boat cruise would be a lot more enjoyable in the summer, but it's still beautiful any time of the year. And you'll end your day at Lindenhof, a hilltop park with panoramic views over the city. This is the spot that I mentioned earlier about getting good views for free. This peaceful spot is perfect for watching the sunset if you're lucky enough to get a clear day. If you have more time to spend in Zurich, I have some options for your other days to complete your full itinerary. The first is probably the most common, visiting the Lindt chocolate factory, which is just outside of Zurich. Lindt is one of the world's most famous chocolate brands, and it was founded right here in Switzerland in 1845 by David Sprungli and Rudolf Lindt. And getting there is really simple. From Zurich's main train station, take the S8 or the S24 train to Kilchberg. This journey is only about 10 minutes long, and from the Kilchberg station, it's a short 10-minute walk to the Lindt home of chocolate. You'll also have the option to take a bus from Zurich or a scenic boat ride across Lake Zurich to the nearby landing stage, followed by a quick walk. The train ride is definitely the quickest, but if it's summer, it might be nice to take the boat ride just for a more scenic journey and then maybe hop on the train to come home. Tickets to the Lindt home of chocolate are 15 CHF for adults and 10 for children. Guided tours and special experiences like chocolate making workshops are available for an additional cost. And when you're inside, you'll see tons of things like a 7-meter tall chocolate fountain, the museum's interactive exhibits where you'll learn about the history of chocolate from the ancient Mayans to modern day Switzerland, and a behind-the-scenes look at how Lindt's iconic chocolates are made. The best part is the unlimited chocolate sampling at all of the tasting stations. You can also shop exclusive products at their gift shop. I'd plan to spend about 1.5 to 2 hours here, and if you do have extra time, you can grab a coffee or hot chocolate at the Lindt Cafe to wrap up your visit. Remember to check the factory's opening hours and book your tickets online to avoid long queues, especially during peak travel seasons. Another option, either instead of the Lindt chocolate factory day or in addition to it if you do have more time, is to head to Lucerne and the Swiss Alps. This again would be weather dependent or seasonal dependent, because I highly recommend doing this during the summer when the weather is more enjoyable and you will have a little bit more visibility to see all of the great views. I spent the most incredible day in Lucerne and the Swiss Alps a few summers ago, where I took a cable car up the mountain, then did a toboggan slide in the middle of the mountain, a cog railway train down the mountain, and then a boat ride across the lake to Lucerne, and it was truly one of the most amazing travel experiences I've ever had. So I highly recommend doing it if you do have the time and the budget. So check out this video to get all of the information on doing this and see exactly what a day in the Swiss Alps is like.